Hey, what's up guys? So in this video I'm going to show you how you can generate different colorways for your patterns, and there are going to be three ways that I'm going to discuss in this video, and I'm going to start with the easiest way, and then I'm going to go with a little bit I would say a complex, or you can say a way in which you will have more control over colors. And by the way, if you don't know what does colorways means, it simply means that different, you can say, a set or combination of colors in which a design is available. So for example, you might have some shoes, so the style of the shoes is the same, and but the colors of the shoes are different. So that I would say is called colorways. And by the way, you are also seeing the example here of the same pattern in different color combination or color themes. So that necessarily means the different colorways, and it is pretty good idea to create a pattern and create different colorways depending upon the season and whatever you want. So guys, this is the pattern that I created online here in the tutorial previously, and you can watch that in order to know how I have created it. And there is another pattern here. Now the reason for showing you these two patterns is that, for example, in this pattern, you can see that I have these petals and I have a gradient color applied to it, while in this pattern all the colors are just solid colors, there is no gradient. So to demonstrate the first method, I would say that this pattern is more suitable because it has gradient, and this method is mostly suitable for these cases in which you have gradient colors applied, and so that is why I have chosen this one. So the easiest way is to when you have finished creating the pattern, in the layers panel you are going to choose a layer option here, that is the HSL slider. So HSL option, so that is an adjustment layer, and in this one if you change the hue, you will be able to change the color of the whole pattern according to your likeness. For example, if I kind of like this yellowish, brownish, or magenta kind of tint, I can use it. I can even change the luminosity and make it darker or lighter depending upon our likeness, and I can increase the saturation. So this is, I would say, the easiest method to create colorways for your patterns. And one thing that you can guess, that although you can get a variation of a pattern, or you can say variation of the colors in your elements of your pattern, but one thing that you can easily see here is that you cannot get a total control of the colors on each element. So that is, I would say, you can say a con of this method, that although you can get the colors and color variation fairly easily, but you don't have much control over it. So if I just close it here and show you the before and the after, so this is the original color theme or color combination, and this is slightly modified change color. Now one thing that you might notice here is that the background color, for example this rectangle, the background color is kind of, I'm not sure what the exact color is called, so kind of like a palish reddish color, lighter, I think it's called beige. Anyway, so that is the color on the original pattern. So if I apply the hue and saturation layer, the background color also changes. Now it is good if you want to change the whole thing, but if you do not want to change the background color and just want to change the color of the elements but still want to use the same method, there is an easiest way to do it. So what I would recommend that you should do is just keep the background simple as a separate layer, and group every other thing. So I have these leaves in this group and the flowers in this group, so I'm going to choose both of them and group them together. And then what I'm going to do is just simply bring that hue saturation or hue HSL shift adjustment layer into that group at the top. Now you can already see that now this is only affecting whatever the elements we have in this group. It is not affecting anything that is not in that group. So in this way you will be able to change the colors of just the elements without affecting the you can say the color of the background. So if I change it like this one, you can see that the background color remains the same and only the color of the elements are changing. So that is, I would say, the easiest way to do it. And let me show you another method here. So if I just delete this one, another method to generate colorways is to apply a different kind of adjustment layer. So I'm going to go into that adjustment panel again, and we have another adjustment layer here that is called, I think it should be here, yeah, this one, curves. By the way, there is a color option, but it just gives the, you know, same single color to the whole thing, so I'm not really, you know, fan of that. So we are going to use a curves adjustment layer, and in this one you are going to get these you can say that this graph, kind of like lines, graphs, and you can adjust these points individually, and you have the option to choose RGB and CMYK. Now as the pattern is actually created in a CMYK, so that is why it has already selected this CMYK, and then we have the options of cyan, magenta, yellow and black, and which we can use to which we can individually adjust it. Let me show you what I mean. So if I choose the cyan, I can, you know, decrease it like that and modify the curve until I, you know, see something interesting. Then I can go into magenta, try to change the colors here, and you can see that it has slight more, you can say, individual control over the way the colors look, you know. So something, let's say like that. And then a yellow, let's change it, maybe increase the yellowishness here and maybe decrease the yellowness in the dark, so something like that. And then we can also adjust the black color here, so you can make it slightly grayish or maybe make it even darker, so that can also be done. So that was just CMYK. In this way you can adjust it. Let me just reset it and let me change it to RGB. Now you will get the options of red, green and blue, and you can adjust these levels, or you can say these curve shapes, to get the colors of one. So it can give you a little bit more control over it, and if you know how to, you know, adjust these curves and modify these curves, you will be able to get some interesting results, let's say like that. And maybe let's just bring this one here. So in this way you will be able to create some more dynamic looking colorways as compared to the simple HSL adjustment layer. So this is how it is, and again you can bring it outside the group to affect the background as well. That totally depends upon you. So these two methods are mostly, I would say, suitable for those kind of patterns in which you have gradients or maybe any kind of very complex kind of like color fields. So this is suitable for those cases. Now here is the pattern that simply has solid colors, and it is designed in the form of symbols. So every element, you can see the diamond shape element has the same design, and it is filling the document. And by the way, I'm using a template that I have created, and these templates, a variety of different templates, I have put them on this channel, and they are available for free download. And if you really want to find out, you can easily search on this channel. So in this one we have this single symbol here, and the other symbols, the copies of that symbol, are available in a separate group. And again, I would say that this only has solid colors, there are no gradients in it, and we can use the same methods that I have previously discussed. So let me show you this line, so you can see that every other element is just a copy of this first symbol. So we can use those methods of adjustment layers, and we can simply create colorways for using those techniques. But a little bit more control, if you want, on these things is this is how you would do it. So you will need to open a swatches panel here, and if you don't know how to do it, you can go to view, studio, and make sure that swatches option is checked. I think it should be here, yeah, this one, swatches option. So you will have the swatches option open. You can go into that little icon and choose this option, a document palette. You can also add an application palette. I have already discussed the difference between these two, so let's just choose this document palette option, and it has created a new document palette, and we can add colors to it. Now you can see that in the layer, in this single symbol, we have different elements, and I have arranged the elements in the order of the colors. Let me just group these dark ones, all of these, into a single group so that we can easily see what is available in the layers panel. So here in the layers panel you can see that every element has a different color here. A set of elements have different colors and we can use it. So I'm going to choose the petals, any of these petals, because all the petals has the same color. So I'm going to choose any of the petals, go on into the document or in the design, and right click and choose this option, add to swatches. Now you'll get different options here, and what you need to do here is to choose this option from fill as global, because I have chosen that petal that has a fill color applied to it. If it had maybe a stroke color also applied to it, so you will choose this option from both as global. So I'm just going to choose this first option from fill as global, and it has put that orange color into the swatches panel. Then I'm going to choose this curve here that is kind of like a stigmata, whatever it's called, and I'm going to do the same thing and choose this option, add to swatches and fill as global. Same thing with goes for the leaves, and I'm going to add a fill color as a global. Then I'm going to go into the darker areas here and choose any of the elements, right click and choose this option, add to swatches as from fill as global. Now I have intentionally left these elements alone because I might want to keep them as it, but if you want to change the color, the process is the same. Now if you want to change the color of any element, all you have to do is to double click these colors in the global and change it. But one thing that you need to do, be very careful here, is that you notice that I have chosen one of the petals and added this orange color. Now if I change it here, only that single palette or single petal color changes like that. Let me undo it. So if you want to change the colors of all the petals, what you have to do is to select all the colors that has the same color, all the elements that has the same color. You can select it in the layers panel if it's a simple one, a simple design, or you can select any one of these, go to select same and fill color. Now what this normally does is that it selects all the elements in other symbols as well, which is not really necessary. So all you have to do is to just, I would recommend is just go into the layers panel, select all the elements that has the same color. Now after doing that, all you need to do is to just click on that color just once, and that's it. Same is the case with this stigmata or stigma, I'm not sure again what's the name, and I'm going to apply a global color on that one, and then select all the leaves here and apply the global color of the leaves on that one, and then I'm going to go into the group, select all these dark elements here and apply that global color on it. Now the best thing about this technique is that I do not have to select any elements. Now I'm just going to go into the layers panel here, or actually into the swatches panel, double click on any color, and I can just simply change the color like that. So you can see that I have just change the color of all petals, and I did not have to select those petals individually. So I am going to change it to, let's say, kind of like a yellowish thing, so like that. And then I'm going to, let's say, change this darker brown color to a little bit kind of like greenish, and let's change the color of the leaves slightly different, make them, let's say, more of orangish or reddish orange, something like that. And the same thing we can do with these dark elements, we can change their color as well. So in this way you will have a bit of more control over the colors of individual elements like that. So you see that with just a few clicks, or just changing the colors of the elements in this swatches panel, I have created a different colorway or color theme or color combination of the the designs, or you can say the elements or the whole pattern. So again, I can just adjust this one. Let me I did not like the original one, reddish one, so maybe slightly orangish something will look good. So guys, you can see that I have easily changed the color of element, and as this stock is just a single element, I can just simply change the color of this one. I do not have to create a, you can say that, a global color. I can create a global color from it if I want, but it was not really necessary because it was just a single element. So this is how you can create a combination or color themes or color variations of your patterns and try to see what works best. Sometimes the color combination or the color theme in which we create the original pattern is not to our liking, and we want to see something different. And for this purpose, we have decided to show you this method that you can change the colors of your original design and try to see what fits your likeness. So guys, hopefully you have found this video to be helpful. If so, make sure that you like the video and let me know in the comments below what do you think about it. And do not forget to press the subscribe and the bell button so that you do not miss any of my future videos. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video, and thank you for watching.